So as we had started the revision of the time value of money in our past session, let us go for a quick revision of our past lecture. So that will help you out to recall the concept that we discussed in our past lecture. This is the outline of this respective chapter. What we are going to discuss. Why do you need time value of money? What is the future value of a single amount? That is amount being received once, and what is the future value of an annuity. In the same way, we'll discuss about present value of single amount and present value of an annuity, and intra-year compounding and discounting. That means more than one, the fund is being either discounted or compounded. So this is the reasons why do you need to calculate time value of money. I discussed you that whenever you are solving sums of time value of money, you should always prefer to draw a timeline. This timeline will help you to understand rupee today and a rupee hence. That means the value of money today and the value of money after a period of time. So if we'll see, if your cash outflow starts from today, so you need to follow part B. And if your cash flow is going to start after 1 year, you need to follow part A, timeline. And you need to prepare this timeline accordingly. So that will help you out to understand and calculate the proper right time value of the money for a given time period. These are the various notations that we use during solving the sums of time value of money. So PV stands for present value, FV stands for future value of n years hence. Now, if you'll see here, there is no n mentioned here because it is present value. It is a time zero value. So no n is required. Whereas here FVN is mentioned. FVN can be a time future value of a cash flow, maybe a one single cash flow, maybe a continuous cash flow, maybe a multiple period of cash flow after n years. It means it can be after 1 year, after 10 years, after 5 years, or any damn number, and then in any damn number of years. CT stands for cash flow occurring at the end of the year. A stands for annuity, that is a constant periodic cash flow over a period of time. R stands for interest rate, G stands for growth rate, and N stands for number of periods over which the cash flow occurs. So this is an example we discussed. We discussed the future value interest, how future value is being calculated. If you can remember, we calculated in Excel also yesterday. So it will be like present value multiplied by 1 plus R raised to N, and we had seen a sum where you are depositing 1000 rupees at the beginning of the year and how it is being calculated. So we had completed up to this. We discussed about doubling rule. Thumb rule is 72. Alternate rule is 0.35 plus 69 divided by interest. So more accurate answer will come in the second method compared to the first one. But first one is quite easy to calculate because rule of 72 says 72 divided by number of rate of interest rate. So that way, the whatever the outcome will be, it will be termed as a period in which your any amount that is invested will get double. So this is approximate answer. If you need more accurate answer, you can follow the alternate rule, which is rule of 69. That is 0.35 plus 69 divided by interest rate. So you will find that there's a difference. Here it is 4.8 years, and here it is 4.95 years. So this is more accurate answer compared to this one. And we discussed about the future value of annuity for a given period of time. We'll see this is a factor value table, and this is the formula with the help of which a factor value can be calculated. FVN, that is future value after a certain period of year. Now present value is equal to, this is the formula for present value. The present value is equal to future value, that is whatever the amount that you are going to receive after a period of after a certain period, that amount multiplied by present value interest factor. This formula stands like present value interest factor. I should write it down, interest factor. The present value interest factor is equal to 1 divided by, if I say the interest rate is, the discounting factor is 10%, then it is 1 divided by 1.1 divided by 1.1 whole raised to, that is raised to, let's say after 5 years. So this is 0.62901. After 1 year, it is 90901. So here it is calculated for 6 percentage, 8 percentage, 10 percentage. After 2 years, let us see what it comes. It is 826, and it is also 826. So this is how you can be able to calculate the factor. Now, if I say after 1 year I am going to receive 1000 rupees, and what is the present after 2 years I am going to receive the 1000 rupees. Let's say this is the future value. N is 2 years. We are taking the factor rate of calculated above. R is, let's say, for example, 10 percentage. So in that case, what amount we are going to generate? So this will be like this multiplied by the factor value, that is, sorry, the amount future value multiplied by the factor value, that comes to 826. Now if I say, for example, if this year is increased from 2 to 3, then it will be this one. If you are going to receive after any amount today, which is you are going to receive after 4 years, then it will be this. So this is how this respective present value can be calculated. So this is the factor rates. These are the various factor rates. These factor rates are given in the form of annexure in your textbook also. If you can refer any financial management book, and you will find that this table values are given at the end of that respective book. So either you should know how to calculate it, or you should know how to find the value from the table. So let us try to find out a value from the table itself. If, let's say, for example, I'm investing, I'm supposed to receive 1000 rupees after, let's say, after 6 years, and the rate of discounting that respective 1000 rupees is, let's say, 8 percentage. Then how to check it out? What amount I will be receiving today? So what I will do is I will go to the table, and I will find it out. What is my criteria? It is 6 year and 8 percentage. So 6 year is here, number of period is here, 6 periods, and 8 percentage is 0.630. That is the factor value. So if I am calculating the present value of 1000 rupees, which I am going to receive after 6 years, and if it is discounted at 8 percentage, then I will be receiving, put the values into this formula, that is future value after n year. That is, I'm going to receive 1000 after 6 years. So this is my future value. So it is here mentioned future value. This is period, and this is interest rate. Interest rate. So if I am putting this all values here, for that what I need to do is future value equal to future value multiplied by, the formula is 1 divided by 1 plus r raised to n. So 1 divided by 1 plus r is 8 percentage, raised to number of years. Let us close this bracket, and let us press enter. It is 630.1696. Now let us see here. We were discussing for 6 years 8 percentage. So 6 years 8 percentage is 0.630. So I calculated the same over here, and when I am supposed to receive 1000 after 6 years, if I am receiving the same amount today, I will be receiving 630 rupees instead of 1000. So any amount that you are going to receive after 6 years, let us say 1000, it becomes 630 rupees if it is converted into present value, with a condition of discounting this respective amount by 8 percentage. So this is what you are going to receive after, uh, in fact, today, instead of receiving the same after 6 years. So this is how your present value of a single amount can be calculated. So these two concepts, that is what we discussed yesterday. If, let's say, for example, I am depositing 630 rupees today, let us say this is the present value, and period is 6 years, and interest that I will be using, compounding interest that I will be using is 8%. So my future value will be 1 plus rate of interest, 1 plus rate of interest raised to period. This becomes my factor value, and if I add the present value, that is 630 into this value, 630 multiplied by this, it comes to 1000. So this is the formula for present value, which says 1 plus r raised to n. This will give you the factor value. When you will multiply by this factor value with present value, whatever the present value amount you have, it will become your future value of that respective time period. So this is the factor value calculated, 1 plus r raised to n, and multiplied by the present value gives me 1000. So my 630 rupees, if I'm investing somewhere at a compounding rate of interest for 6 years at 8%, it is going to be 1000. In the same way, if I am discounting this 1000 rupees, which I am supposed to receive after 6 years, if it is discounted at 8%, I will be receiving 630 rupees and 1617 paisa. I am converting the decimals into 2 points. So this is the table. This is how you can use this table also. Now, uneven series, present value of uneven series. This is what we had seen was one-time investment, one-time cash flow. Now, if it is possible, you may receive cash flow, you may incur a cash outflow also. And every time when your cash flow inflow is incurring or cash outflow is incurring, that is not a even series. It may vary. Today is let's say today it is 1000, tomorrow it will be 2000, day after tomorrow it becomes 500 and all. So this kind of variations you may find. In that case, what you need to do is you need to calculate the present value interest factor for different time. You are able to see this is present value interest factor at 12% for n years. Let us try to solve this in Excel so that you can be able to understand one more time. Let us write down period. It is 1 to 8. 1, 2, 3. Let us drag it down for 8 periods as we are calculating it for 8 periods. Cash flow. Cash flow is 1000, 2000, 2000, 3000, 3000, 4, 4 and 5. 4000, 4000 and 5000. So this is what your cash flow looks like. This is not a even series. Every time your cash flow changes, it is increasing every time, right? So we are going to discount this at 12%. So present value interest factor for 12% for n years. N years. It will be somewhat like, let me subscript this so that will easy to understand for you. Subscript. So this is how it will look like. So if I am calculating it for 12%, so my formula for present value is 1 divided by 1 plus rate of interest is 12% raised to n, that is this. So it will be period for first year. Now if I want to solve it out, because it is Excel, it becomes very easy for me to calculate. I do not need to put the formula every time. I had simply given a reference here and see that you can be able to see here. It is a reference. K4 is a reference. So when I move on to the second year, it becomes K5. So this is how I can be able to calculate the present value interest factor. Let us see here what is given. Present value of individual cash flow. So PV of individual cash flow. So if I am receiving 1000 rupees after 1 year, so today's present value is of the same 1000 is 892. Similarly, if I'm supposed to receive 2000 rupees after 2 years, its present value is 1594. Keep in mind, all these present values are discounted at 12 percentage. So it becomes now to calculate this is how it can be calculated. So any amount that is being received after 8 years, that is 5000, which is received after 8 years. If I convert it into present value, you may find that it is only 2019 rupees. So let us convert them into two decimal points. So 2019.42. So it is not decimal points are not taken. If I convert it into 0 decimal points, then this is how it will look like. So 893, 1594, 1424, 190, 708. It is all because of decimal points. And this is how you can be able to find out the present value of uneven cash flow. Why I'm saying uneven? Because your cash inflow, cash outflow is not even, not the same one. It is changing from time to time. So that is why it is uneven cash flow, and you can be able to find it out. So present value of the cash flow stream. So if I want to know what is the total value of this entire cash flow from first year to 8th year, what I'm finding is 13,375. And what is the future value of this entire amount comes to 24,000. So this 24,000 when converted on a place to place load, if it is found, it is able to find out that it comes to 13,375, which was to be 24,000 for future. So this is how you can calculate the present value of uneven series. Future value of an annuity. What is annuity? As we are entering into a new term, let us discuss what annuity means. Annuity is a amount that you are going to either receive or pay. See, when I say cash flow, your cash flow can be cash inflow, cash flow can be cash outflow. Does not matter. The money comes into your pocket or goes out of the pocket. You need to understand the concept. So if I'm supposed to make a periodic cash payment, or if I'm supposed to receive a periodic cash flow, but that's too, it is not uneven. It is the same amount that I will receiving today. I will be receiving after 8 years, after 10 years, after 15 years, after 20 years. It is going to remain same. For example, your LIC premium. Talk about your LIC premium is always the same. It do not changes with respect to China, with respect to time. So your cash flow, your LIC premium remains same. Either you are paying today, you are paying after 5 years, you are paying after 10 years. So it can be termed as annuity. Your loan installment amounts. When you are paying loan installment amount, it is also same amount. Every month you are paying the same EMI. It is annuity. So annuity, if you'll see here, it is being here in a timeline. So if you are paying the same amount, so it becomes 1000. This 1000 paid today, let's say invested today. So it will be invested for 5 years, this for 4 years, this for 3 years, 2 years, and this is for the same. So it comes to 6105. And the formula is 1 plus r raised to n minus 1 divided by r. I am talking about up to this. Why? Because this is the interest factor. Adding the annuity, multiplying with the annuity, it becomes future value of an annuity. So it is simply known as future value interest annuity factor. If you'll see here, we're discussing this. So if I am computing the only the factor value, this is the factor value. This is the factor value. So if I am calculating only the factor value, it is known as either present value factor or future value interest factor, depending what you are calculating. You are calculating in a present value factor and future value factor. So I am talking about interest value factor. And interest value factor is equal to 1 plus R. Let us say, let us calculate it for 10 percentage. So 1 plus R raised to, let's say for example, it is for 5 years. Let us go for one more bracket. Minus 1, this is closed, divided by R. So this is the interest factor for future value interest annuity factor of 10 percentage. So now if I am investing 1000 rupees for coming 5 years, that is, this is calculated for 5 years. See, this is the NPER, that is number of periods. So it is invested for 5 years. So my amount is going to be 6105. If I started investing today 1000 rupees in some of the funds, in any of the funds, and it is supposed to be compounded at 10 percentage for the coming 5 years. So after 5 years, I will be receiving 6105. See, this is what is calculated. This is the formula. This is what we calculated right now. The interest value, interest annuity factor is equal to, I'm calculating it one more time. Just see and note it down if you have pen and paper with you. So it is 1 plus R bracket closed raised to n, n is 5 here, minus 1, let us close this, minus 1, this whole divided by the rate of interest, that is what we had taken there as R. So it becomes 6.1051. If I change this rate of interest, let's say for example from 10 percentage to 12 percentage, it will be 6352. So if I am compounding it by more higher percentage, I will be getting more amount after 5 years. If I change it, let's say it reduce from 10 to 8 percentage, we will be able to generate only 5,866 rupees if my amount has been compounded at 8 percentage per annum. So this is all about annuity factor, future value interest annuity factor. This formula is important. Keep this in mind that it is 1 plus R raised to n minus 1 whole divided by R, and this entire amount is being multiplied by A, that is annuity. It comes to this amount. So this is an example. Suppose you have decided to deposit 30,000 per year in a public provident fund for 30 years. So if you are investing rupees 30,000 rupees every year for the coming 30 years, what amount you will going to receive after 30 years if your respective amount is compounded at an interest rate of 11%. So let us calculate this on Excel rather than looking it in the PPTs. See, this is my annuity. This is my annuity. I am investing 30,000 rupees every year. So it becomes annuity because in 2020 I am investing 30,000. In 21 I will be investing 30,000. And in the same way, in 2050 also I will be investing 30,000 rupees. So amount of investment remains same. It is not fluctuating. It is the same one. That is why it becomes an annuity. Periods for 30 years, interest rate is 11 percentage, and what I need to find out is future value of this amount. I'm investing 30,000 from today. I started investing from today. and I am supposed to receive it after the end of 30th year. So if I put this in the time value of money, your amount will be invested today and received after 30th year, at the end of the 30th year. So let us try to find it out. But prior moving to calculate the future value, I will be calculating future value interest annuity factor. An interest annuity factors formula is, if you can recall it along with me, 1 plus R bracket closed raised to periods, that is n bracket closed, minus 1 bracket closed divided by interest rate. So my interest annuity factor is 199.0209, and my future value will be, future value is equal to a multiplied by a multiplied by future value interest annuity factor at 11 percentage and 30 years. Let us subscript this, subscript it. So this is how it will look like. This is the formula that you need to write, and this is the interest factor that we calculated. So here, putting it into the formula, 30,000 rupees is the annuity value, and future value interest annuity factor is 199. So I'm going to receive this much amount after 30 years. See, it is 5970600. This is 626 as it is calculated in Excel, and it goes for higher decimal values, and that is why there's a difference. Otherwise, it is very much equal answer. So this is how you can be able to calculate it. If you are calculating in a calculator, then keep in mind we had already discussed what things you need to keep in mind when you are calculating on a simple calculator and not scientific. But when you are calculating the same thing in a scientific calculator, you can put this entire formula in your calculator, and you can be able to solve this sum in a one single step if it is a scientific calculator. If it is not a scientific calculator, then it is advisable that you should go face to face. Face to face means what? If I'm calculating the same sum on a simple calculator, what I will do is, I will first of all solve 1 plus R raised to n, that is 30. I will solve this much only. So 1 plus R raised to n. After that it is minus 1. So it is this. And after that divided by R, rate of interest. The answer is here. So you can go face to face for solving this also. If you are using a simple calculator, if you are using a scientific calculator, you can put this entire formula together and you will be getting the answer in one single step only. You do not need to recalculate it every time. You do not need to note down the values at all if you are using a scientific calculator. So this is what future value interest annuity factor, how it is calculated. We had gone through the respective way. So this is another one. This is your annual saving should be. That is calculating the your annuity amount. What is the annuity amount? So you can calculate it. You can go for this respective formula. The same formula can be applicable. The only thing is that we do not have annuity, but we have the future value. So what we can do is we can calculate this annuity factor and divide the future value by the annuity factor. You will have your annuity amount. A will be equal to this much. Let us try to solve it out again, and that will help you out to understand. You want to buy a house after 5 years, and the cost is 2 million. So how much amount you will be investing, how much amount you will be saving annually, because saving is compounded at 12 percentage per year. So future value interest factor of for a 5-year annuity is calculated to be 6.353. We'll put this here. Let us put it here only directly. Let us put it here. We do not know what is our annuity value, so we are skipping it here simply. And it's a 5-year and 12 percentage. So period is 5 and percentage is 12. So it comes to 6.3528, which is again 6.53. Reducing the decimal points will give us 6.353. And we have the future value. We do not need this formula also, so I'm deleting it. But we have the future value. Let us try to find out. It is, let's say, 2 million. So the formula is future value annuity multiplied by, the formula is here given. Let us put it over here. This is the formula. And what we have future value is equal to this. So we have the future value. We have annuity, that is A multiplied by the annuity factor, that is 6.353. So when I want to calculate, when I want to know what is my annuity amount, so I will be dividing this with 6.353. So that comes 31481.92. So this is what I am supposed to invest on a day-to-day basis. This is what I am supposed to invest on a day-to-day basis. So here is your answer. It is very much similar. It's 812 and this is 819 because of decimal points and nothing else, as it is being calculated in the Excel. So if you are calculating it on your respective notebook with the help of a calculator, your answer will be very much close to 812 rather than 819. So this is how you can calculate the annuity also if annuity is not given. Simply dividing it, dividing the future value with the interest annuity factor. This is a sinking fund. If you are investing in a sinking fund, it is same as it. It is again calculating the annuity amount, what the amount you need every year to deposit. You can also find the interest rate with the same methodology, same applying the same formula where you do not know R, so you can be able to find out the R with the help of dividing it your future value with respective annuity, and that will come to your respective factor value. Go and see in the reference tables where this factor value lies, and then you can be able to calculate it easily. So we are stopping this session over here. Let us have a question answer sessions. If you have any queries, I will be sharing your questions. I will be answering to your questions. If you have any queries, if you have any doubt, you can ask me right now.